What's up, you guys, and welcome back to our channel. It is Tuesday, March the 19th. Really, this month is going by crazy fast. And I'm just like, wow. And the faster March goes by, the faster April goes by, the faster I'm able to go on my cruise. And then I would like for time to actually slow down while I'm on the cruise, okay? So, if you are new to this channel, I am the host of this channel. My name is Danielle Bailey. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and this channel was basically developed to show my journey from full-time job to actually full-time entrepreneurship. So I went from a full-time job as a licensed therapist to a full-time private practice on my own, opening up my own private practice. And so on Tuesdays, I come on here and I talk to you guys, and I am just very transparent about what's going on and how I'm feeling, and the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is that I'm actually feeling that week. And I just tell you guys so that you guys can get an overview, a picture of the good. It's okay. A lot of people make entrepreneurship look like it's just great. It's so wonderful. It's always good times. And a lot of people go into entrepreneurship as it's great. It's always good times. And in actuality, sometimes it's not always good times. But I want to show people that it's not always good time, but you still can persevere through the bad times and you still can make it. So I'll ask you guys to give me a year to watch my practice go from not really having much to where God is going to bless me to where I'll be able to sustain and work there, okay? So that's kind of where I'm at. And I want to do a recap because it just really just kind of fell in my spirit to just go ahead and do a recap from where I came from when I started this channel to where I'm at now. And one of the biggest things that I want to talk about, do a recap real quick, is on insurance panels and payments. When I first started this channel, you guys, I started it back in, I want to say November, not July, but November-ish, when I really started posting videos and stuff like that. It was probably the end of November going into December. Yeah, it was end of November going into December. And at that time, you guys, I was getting paid far few in between. And what I mean by that, I wasn't getting checks regularly from insurance companies. I will be honest, the last of 2018, my private practice has been open since the beginning of 2018. I've been part-time since the beginning, January 2018. I didn't start seeing clients really until March, somewhere up in there, this month, March of 2018. So I really finally started getting clients in. And during that time of last year, I really was not getting paid for seeing clients. I was just seeing clients I was behind on billing because I didn't know how to bill. I didn't know how, it was so much in 2018, okay? So much. But I know for sure a lot of this with my private practice last year in 2018 was paid out of pocket. And it was because I just could not, I didn't get started right on the correct foundation. Y'all got to remember, I started this not knowing much of nothing. And so I had never done, I've always been the therapist. I tell people, I describe it like this. It's like a manager and a basketball player, the talent. I've always been the talent. I've never been the manager that has to work on the business in the background and all this other kind of stuff. So me going into private practice, not knowing much of nothing, it kind of, it showed. So that's another reason why I really wanted to make this channel, and I really want to educate other people, and I probably will start a mentorship program and stuff like that, or either do some classes or something so that I can actually teach people from my mistakes and stuff, because for a long time I wasn't getting paid. A long time. And I know that some of you guys, some people who do start off in private practice, they do not have their problem, and that's great for them. But for me, I had a full-time job. My private practice was in a whole 2 hours away from where I lived at, and it was just and I was working other jobs, so it was so much. It was so much. So I want to help people, okay? So I want to help people not make my mistakes. But it was so much in the beginning. But now, since I was able to go full time, your girl getting checks, okay? Checks on checks, you know, and I'm still learning. So, like, that's why I want to do a recap of really with insurance companies. When I first came on full time, like, that was my main goal. I had expected, my expectations, let me say this. My expectations was to get all of this settled and handled the first month of January. No. Insurance companies didn't start responding like they should until about the end of February, beginning of March. Okay? So, like, it's just, like, your level, I would say this. Do not, when you can have a high expectation of your goals and what you're supposed to complete in a timely manner, but do not be so rigid to where if your expectations does not be met, you go into a deep depression. No, go roll with the punches and keep on going. Like your level, it's great to have a high expectation, but it's also great to leave room for error. And I think for me, myself, I did not leave room for error. I was just like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to do this. I got to do that. And we're just one person. And other more pressing things is going to come before some stuff sometimes. Like with the whole insurance companies, I had other pressing things that I need to do, and it kind of fell to the back burner, and it was just like, so I had to be like, okay, my expectation is to get it done, is to make sure that my insurances, with these insurance panels, that they're paying me in a timely manner and all of that. Like, that is my expectations, to get it done within the first month of January. However, I had to leave room for error, and it really started rolling in payments from the majority of my insurance companies start rolling in mid-February, end up going into February. And one payment just actually rolled in from one insurance company this month on Friday, March the 15th. Like, I have been going back and forth with United Healthcare, the community plan, y'all. Let me tell y'all about them people. At first, I hated that plan because I have been going back. This is another thing. I have been going back and forth with this plan ever since November of 2018. Because they were saying that I was credentialed with one place. Like, the credentialing in the claims department was not communicating. So it was not my fault. They weren't communicating, and the claims department was denying all my plans. But the credentialing department was like, you're good, they should be approving, but they never communicated. I went and talked to, I finally emailed my advocate and was like, look, this is what's happening. She was like, okay, let me look into it. It didn't get resolved.
Yeah, the issue didn't get resolved until about middle of February, not the end of January.
And so like, I had stopped submitting claims to them, because if you ever know, like, you have to go through the whole, once you get denied, like, you got to go through a whole nother process, and the process is more tedious. And so I just stopped submitting claims to them. I want to say probably November, when I first started having the problems, but I'm still seeing my clients. So I just stopped submitting claims to them altogether, and I finally was able to get in contact with her, and she went ahead, she looked into it. But her part, and her not getting it, her part took months too to get it actually, her looked into it and all this other kind of stuff. It took a month and a half for her to actually get all of that, I guess, to get both of them. She submitted a part to the claims department, and the claims department took 30 business days on its own. So, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I had to, when I realized it was not going to get done in January, I had to realize that I had to leave room for error, because now I'm dealing with other people and I'm waiting on their time. Okay? And they get 30 business days, and you already know 30 business days is like a month and a half. So, but nonetheless, UHC has come through. They have sent payments to you, girl. And so, like, that's just amazing. So I'm just saying, I just want to tell you guys that, like, leave room for error. And I'm like, okay with UHC now. Like they got payments coming in, so your girl is good. Everything seems to be right. And they also did the claims that I had submitted. They actually gave me interest on those claims because it was their fault. I want to say they gave me like an extra $5 for some of the claims. Like on each claim, they actually gave me like an extra $5 per claim as long as I had filed it and it was on their part. So I was okay with it. You know, so I'm just saying, leave room for error. Don't just have high expectations and try to meet them, but don't beat yourself up if you don't. A lot of times we'll try to beat ourselves up, or even we can sulk and go into a depression, and it's just like, I ain't got time to be depressed, okay? Like, especially, I want to say this. Being an entrepreneur, like, you do not have time to be depressed, okay? Like, that's why I want to say, I know that a lot of times as therapists, like a lot of people in our personal lives come talk to us, and you know, like, it's almost like informal counseling from other family members and friends and all of this. And I want to tell you to be careful who you pour into outside of work. Point blank period. Because if you are a therapist and you're at the beginning, like, you're pouring into people daily. You get paid to pour into people. You get paid to help people with their own problems. And then you come home and you got to deal with your own self. And then if another family member or friend who is always coming over and you got to pour into them, it's like you're drained and you yourself is not able to practice your own self-care, or you're actually going to go through a depression on your own. So I honestly say, in the beginning of private practice, limit yourself. We got some people who you just know are negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers who we associate with. Limit yourself with them. And I know that may sound mean or rude or cruel, but honestly, when you are self-employed, you cannot afford to be depressed. Okay? You just cannot afford it, because it's like, if you don't see your clients because you're laying in the bed, how are you going to get paid? Like, if you got a 9-to-5 job, you got PTO that you can use if you can't go to work. When you self-employed, you ain't got PTO. So, myself personally, I am reserving my energy, my time, and it's like the people who I know just necessarily like just not uplifting. Sometimes I got to push away from them and just like, because I got to deal with self. I want to let everybody know we all got problems. We all got something that we're dealing with. And it's like, if I give to my clients and I come home and I look in the mirror for myself and I'm trying to make sure that I do self-improvements and stuff like that to myself, like, I can't continue to pour into people who don't pour back into me. Okay? So that's just what I wanted to say. I know it kind of be like, damn, you're on a little tangent. I am about that because, like, this week, I realized we're going through stuff with my mom. I was under a lot of pressure last week. Of course, you guys know that my mom was in the hospital for a couple of days. And so I was under a lot of pressure. And so it was like pressure from my mom being in the hospital, going and seeing clients, and me trying to just deal with self. It was so much. So it's just like, let's back and let's actually practice some self-care. So I really am going to do some self-care this week now that the crisis and everything is over. Mom is doing better. She's up. She's driving. Thank God, she's getting back to herself. So this week, I actually am going to practice some self-care. And I'm actually going to get a massage. And I'm excited about that. Like, if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't seen my videos, like, I'm trying to practice something new once a month that I have never done. And so, for the month of January, what did I do in January? I did the MLK thing by myself. I went to a community dinner by myself. And so for the month of February, I hung out with some new people, and I did some new things. And so for the month of March will actually be the whole massage thing. And I'm like really looking forward to it. I had like a massage like once, like a few years ago, but that was like a few years ago. But I'm excited. I already reached out to the girl. I just got to schedule the appointment. My plan is to schedule the appointment for this Saturday after my clients, and just because I plan on having Saturday. I got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. Let me say that. Now this is going into my whole self-care. I have Saturday. I don't have that many clients, which is a good thing. So I plan on getting a massage right after, and then at 5 o'clock I'm hanging out with some social workers for some social work month, and then on Sunday I plan on meeting up with the ladies who I'm going on the cruise with. Like, we're doing a whole gathering that Sunday to like introduce ourselves and stuff. So it's just like a whole bunch of self-care. Like, that's what I'm on this week: self-care, self-preservation, and just being okay. All right, so moving right. So yes, you guys, make sure y'all do get y'all a prayer partner. I just want to say this: shout out to my prayer partner. It was my turn to pray yesterday, and like, she sent me a message last night that was like really touching and stuff like that. And I just want to say, like, I'm so happy that me and her actually reconnected. Like, I knew her back in college and undergrad. Like, we were in the same choir and stuff like that. So, like, I am just so grateful for her. And I'm actually grateful too for another friend of mine. He's a social worker, and like, we have just really been like communicating and sending scriptures and all of that. And it's just like, it's really encouraging for to actually know somebody else who is in the field and who is in the fight too as well. So I really say, y'all, get y'all a prayer partner. And like, I'm sorry I'm unavailable per my prayer partner. I am unavailable, so like, and she is unavailable too. So like, yes, we got to keep that connection or whatever. But y'all, please pray about it. Ask God to send you guys somebody, and when He does, like, it'll be awesome. I want to say that, like, it's a true, genuine connection and stuff like that. But before I go, I know y'all keep seeing me with this little book right here, and I want to talk about how I got this book. Last week, it's actually a daily devotional, the word for you today. But I was actually in the library last week. I was doing some work last Tuesday, and I was doing a little bit of work. And so this gentleman, like, I was at one of the tables. Like, honestly, I don't sit at the house and do not at the house, but in the office or at the house. Excuse me. I don't necessarily, sometimes I get bored at the office or at the house doing work. So I get up and I go to the library. Easy, free Wi-Fi, I can do whatever. And so it's just a different scenery, and I enjoy it. And it really, because I used to go to the library a long time ago and do work for this other lady. And now I go there and I do work for myself. So it has a whole different significant meaning to me why I actually go to the library. But nonetheless, I was sitting up there, I was working and stuff. And so it had this guy, I was packing up my stuff, getting ready to go. And it had this older gentleman, and he was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you read? And I was like, yeah, I read. And so, mind you guys, I was going through last Tuesday. And so, he was like, oh, okay. And so he was like, I want to give you this. And I was like, oh, okay, what is this? And so he was like, it's going to help you. It's going to increase your faith. It's a daily devotional. And, he had started reading it himself. And, like, you can tell where he had started reading it, because it has, like, he underlined some stuff, like right here. That's his. And so he gave it to me. He was just like, I just want to share the good news with you, and it's going to help increase your faith and help increase your daily walk with God. And like, y'all, this couldn't have come at a better time. And I told him, I said, you really just don't understand how important this is to me, and you actually giving it to me right now. And I feel like that it was divine faith and work with God. He just let me know, Danielle, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're going through and things of that nature. So this was amazing. Like, yet again, y'all, keep guiding y'all businesses. Keep prayer. Make sure you pray over your businesses. Make sure you pray over the people who you work with and stuff of that nature. Allow God to actually lead your business, and you not lead your own business, because God is the best at doing this. He already knows what he wants you to do and stuff like that. Even if you're not a super spiritual person, but you are a spiritual person and you do believe in God, I still encourage you to actually, and I know a lot of people say that they're not a spiritual person. I'm not like a super spiritual person because they don't go to church. I don't want you to place such hard ramifications on actually going to the church, because I know a lot of people have been hurt by the church, but it's about your relationship with God. That's the most important thing. And I can go to church all day and still not have a great relationship with God. And truth be told, I have done that. I have went to church out of tradition, because I need to go to church on Sunday, because that's what most African American families do. We get up, we go to church, and you be dead in the inside. So why am I even going to church? And you can have some people who don't go to church and have the most dynamic relationship with God. Okay? So don't say that because you don't go to church, you're not the most spiritual person. If you're not, just really debase it and upon your relationship with God. Yes, it does say for in the Bible about making sure you go to church. For what does it say? You know, I ain't no Bible scholar, but it talks about don't forget about going to church. It does say that. I think it says forsake not the assembly of God. But you know what I'm saying? As long as you got, my thing is, as long as you got a great relationship with Him, He will eventually guide you to the right church that He wants you in to fellowship with other believers. Because it is good for us to fellowship with other believers. But nonetheless, you guys, I think I have went over my 16, 17 minutes. I know that I love y'all. Know that if these videos have encouraged you guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Pass these videos along, and I shall see you guys on Friday. Y'all have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.